Yo, what's going on, guys? Starting my day here a little bit late, and actually just got back home from meeting up with a Instagram follower. Well, I just say Instagram follower. He's actually a friend of my friends, and he hit me up yesterday about having some spare wagon stuff lying around that I may possibly could use or have, and I went and picked him up. So he said when he bought his wagon, it came with a diff. Now his car is front wheel drive, so he has no need for it. He figured I can use it, and who doesn't like spare diff lying around, right? So I'm just gonna kind of have this one as a spare, maybe read up on the LSD part. When we do the wagon, we'll throw LSD in this, or whichever one works for it. Wagon rear diff, and this is all he had, which is perfectly fine. And yeah, now to source the drive shaft. So if anybody has any leads on the drive shaft, front and rear, with the viscous cup, let me know. I'm willing to buy if you're willing to ship. And that is like literally what I'm missing from the all-wheel drive stuff for the wagon. And I just want to give a quick thank you to everybody who has helped the channel grow to 40,000 subscribers. It happened in the blink of an eye, and the 50K is coming up real soon. I wasn't ready for it, and I definitely have to get all this stuff ready for the all-wheel drive conversion when time comes. So if you guys got leads on the drive shaft and viscous, let me know. Alright guys, so what I want to do today was figure out my no start, no fuel pump, no bullshit issue. And this just appeared like out of nowhere. The car parked for like a month, and I haven't turned it on during the month of, you know, cleaning up the black CRX. So I went and tried to turn it on yesterday, and it wasn't, nothing was working. So right here at the main relay, you can see where I jumped all the wires. There's a third one right there on the floor that looped all of these right here together, and ECU came on, fuel pump came on, and I had to go knock on the starter to get the car to turn on. So what I'm trying to do today is possibly, since we are running a fuse panel PDM setup right there, technically I can run the fuel pump and everything else on his own relay system right here, and controlled by the switch panel. And what I want to do is, this right here is power on, so this is to the ignition system, everything comes on, and then you know, lights, cluster, all that starts working. And then this right here is the fan, and then I have 3 extra that are not being used. So what I want to do is, I want to wire this, instead of going through the harness right there. As I was saying about these last 3 switches right here, I'm probably gonna run like its own standalone for ECU, fuel pump, and then possibly just have 1 extra, or unless I can find that useful for something else. But on Kerry's car, the LS VTEC Turbo 4-door that we did, I have 1 for ECU, 1 for fuel pump for his car, because his cuzzo shorted some shit out, so I had to rig up some switches for him, and he's still running it just like that today, perfectly fine. So instead of getting like the relay that you know, converting the stock main relay to the regular was it 30 amp relay, whatever, the little square ones, I'm just gonna eliminate using this guy and run this all on its own individual wires. And oh, I gotta replace that fuse too, I'm missing one. But I'm probably gonna do that. But since Chewy showed up, you know, when people are here, I lose track of time. So when he's here, I'm probably gonna lose about 2 or 3 hours, and I can't work with people around me. So Chewy just wanted to come by here real quick and, like, you know, show me his DIY cable to hydro conversion. SP tuning, Fro Man, guys, this is why I kick out these type of videos. It's for you guys to, you know, get an idea and attempt to make something like this yourself, so you can save a bunch of money. So this right here is for his wagon, and he's going full hydro, just how I did it on all of my cars. Black 5-speed front wreck RSX, just fucking automatic. What a waste of my time. So we are back here at the pad, and nothing great in the junkyard. A bunch of newer cars. Like, there was a bunch of Subarus in there, which was kind of weird. I've never seen like that many Subarus. There was at least 4, 5, and then the rest were all just newer Civics. Nothing, you know, spectacular to me for the most part. But I did run across a lot of DSMs, and right here, my receipt, and I bought a whole bunch of injectors. These are, I believe, 450s or 440s, but they are DSM blue tops, and I'm going to be using that for the challenge. This is definitely, I know I only got 5, but whatever. You never know when you got one injector fail, right? So these are a start to the challenge, because the challenge is non-VTEC factory engine, and limitation is 450 max cc injectors. So whether these are 440s or 450s, I have it for the challenge. Like I said, I'm not 100% set to what I am you know, doing just yet, but I paid $37 plus my discounts. Right there is, I paid like $17 or something like that cash. But got my injectors, probably gonna get them flow tested and cleaned up, so that way, you know, they're ready to rock and roll when the challenge comes about. So back to the CRX today. I am pretty much going to go inside the car and wire up the ECU and the fuel pump to the switch panel assembly, so that way we can just eliminate the main relay altogether, in case it ever fails me down on a dyno or down a track or whatever the case may be, that the fuel system, ECU, power, ignition, all that stuff is on all of its own individual power system. So I'm gonna get inside, start tearing things apart, find all my wires, and then we'll start connecting everything. So I was going through my glove box and got my old time slips right here, from when I first brought this car out and about to race at Sacramento Raceway. Stock H22 long block SIR VTEC black top, not even a blue top or red top, but this car did off the trailer number 131. I did a 12.6 at 109, cutting a 1.860, and my friend was like, yo, you gotta back that up. So I backed it up right here with a number 131 up top, 1760, 1244 at 107. Lost a few miles an hour, and then when I went for the third pass, that's when I had the missed gear issues, and you know, every single time after that, the same issue kept recurring, and never really made a solid pass after the 12.6. But anyways, this right here is a PDM system, fuse box relay, switch panel setup from CJS Wiring. Quality stuff, great prices compared to most, you know, other companies that that are out there. If you guys want to check out what kind of, you know, products he offers, I'll put CJS Wiring in the description below. Check them out, let them know I sent you. And here is my fuse system, and this wire is what I was tracing, which then I found out my plug, it was tucked all the way up to the top, because I was sitting here trying to figure out where the hell did my bunch of wires go. So here it is, and this is, you know, the extended portion of the plug itself up here on the top, and you pretty much route this to whatever it is that you're trying to run on a switch. So I got 3 left over, 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 leftover switches, 1, 2, and 3. So I got ignition, fan, and then 3 other that I'm not using, and I'm going to be using this guy for ECU and this guy for fuel pump. That will leave me with 1 extra. The beautiful part about me doing this months and months ago was I snipped the sleeving right here. You can see it. This one has 4 snips, this one has 5, this one has 3. So that means this is 3, 4, and 5, and I can use those wires according to whichever switch I'm trying to use in order on the panel. So all I'm going to do pretty much is, since this is on its own relay and 30 amp fuse system, I'm not worried about, like, you know, kicking out more power than the ECU or the fuel pump is going to need. And you know, went online, talked to CJ, The pin that I need for the ECU power is this right here, A13 yellow black, and all I'm going to do is snip this guy and run one of these guys, whichever switch I'm trying to run, to this guy, so we can power ECU right off the switch and turn the ECU on. Now that goes the same for the fuel pump. So instead of running a single wire from here across here to the back sending unit plug area where the fuel pump wire goes into, right here, all I'm going to do is right down there at the main relay, I'm going to run one of these guys, whichever switch, across to the main relay wire for the fuel pump, and pretty much use that existing wire that goes to the back and power my fuel pump signal from there. So I'm gonna do this one first and double check it before I get to the fuel pump, and that's pretty much all I want to do as far as that goes. Okay, so I wired the switch number 3 to fuel pump right here on the main relay wire. I didn't snip it, I just bridged into it, then I soldered it, and then I'm going to electrical tape it to keep it from, you know, being opened. Technically this is not going anywhere, so I'm not worried about it, like, I don't know, like if it's not right doing it this way or whatever. But yeah, so right now this is wired in. We have the ECU wired in right there in this blue one. That's the fan over there. And then we have ignition right here. So I got the battery hooked up, ECU hooked up, and I can't turn the car on because we're on the 100 tune injectors, and the map in the ECU is not calibrated for the injector, but I'm going to show you that everything works. So I'm going to show you guys right here. This is ignition on. This is ECU. You can see the lights on over there. This is fuel pump. Right? We'll turn that off. This is fan. We don't need that. And the car cranks. So yeah, we're good here. Originally I was gonna wire this to the starter, but apparently it starts working like mysteriously now. I don't know if I want to go back inside the car because the cat is like sleeping on my chair and I don't want to disturb her. So okay, well she woke up and she kind of scooted on out of there. But yeah, I just cleaned up all of the wirings and everything in the car, and just to show you guys really quickly again, we have ignition on over there, and then we got ECU on over here, and then we have what is this, fuel pump, and then we have fan. Oh yeah, we are done inside here, boys. I'm not going to put the center console on just yet because I talked to Hunter and he said to run a wideband. So I'm probably going to hook up a wideband, since I'm going to have Hunter calibrate with TeamViewer, calibrate my S300 for the map sensor for his injectors, and get this car to turn on and idle, just so I can get everything all squared up before we get to the dyno. But first, before we do all that, his injectors does not require a resistor box. That means I'm gonna have to make a block off. Now you can easily snip the plug where the resistor box wire goes on the driver's side tower, right, and just loop all 5 wires together. I'm not gonna do that. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna use the other end of this, so the female end, wherever it went, somewhere, and I'm just gonna take the 5 wires, loop it together, and then use that as a key for the resistor box. If you guys know, EGs and EKs has a resistor box block off in that corner, so typically the same things. Took a little while, but got my resistor box deleted, so you can see the one right there on the right. is the resistor box that's bolted to the frame rail. We're just going to leave that there for whatever reason, if I need a resistor box again or not. And then at the very bottom over there on the left, you can see there's a plug into it and then a pigtail. So that right there is my resistor block off. So technically the same thing if you was to just snip the green wire and loop all of the red resistors to the yellow. That's the same thing, except we can still plug up a resistor box if we have to. So I didn't get to do the wideband. I'm gonna go pick up a new replacement sensor for the AEM42, which is this guy right here. And this is super old. I've had this since 2012, and ever since the first year of turboing my sedan, this has always read 17 plus and was just completely gone. And I'm gonna install that when I get the new one. We'll put that in the car for when we get ready to calibrate the car, and then we'll install the max solenoid the same time we do the wideband, just so that we can show you this in the daylight rather than in the dark like right now. Oh, that's a giant skunk right there, boy. So that's pretty much gonna do it for tonight, guys. I spoke with Hunter Toon, and we're gonna pick a day soon for him to use TeamViewer to remote in on my laptop here at the house. And when everything's all buttoned up, the wideband's all into place, we're gonna have Hunter calibrate my S300 with the new map, the new injectors, all of that jazz, and get the car to idle. And you know, just so we can drive it around the block, double check everything before we set my tune date with my tuner out here, hopefully next week. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. I know it wasn't much, but progress is definitely better than no progress. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.